Ladies and gentlemen, our 2019 Distinguished Alum, Don Harmon.
Not as eloquent as the previous speakers, and in business, I've always followed the rule that brevity is the best way to go, so I'm going to get you out in the rain pretty quick here. I want to thank, of course, the Alumni Board. I'm very honored to be here today, especially with Alec and Tommy. Thanks to the board, and thanks to my beautiful and talented daughter, Lindsay, who is the executive director here, to my wife, Sherry, of 46 years. I got it right? 46 years? I always ask her. I also want to thank every man that ever gave me a job. Nothing empowers you more in your life when you get out of college and you get your first job, and you get that feeling, and I've been able to see that in the eyes of people I've hired over the years. What a great thing that is. I can tell you the name of every man that ever gave me a job, and it's a very important thing. My family moved to Arkansas in 1963. My dad retired from the Navy, and we moved to a hill farm in Bethesda outside Batesville. And we moved from sunny Hawaii to Arkansas in the winter. I was not enamored of Arkansas at all when we first got here. I've come to appreciate it, obviously, since then. But I remember sitting feeding brood sows in the morning, frosty mornings at Bethesda before jumping on a school bus to go to Batesville High School, thinking, how in the hell am I ever going to get out of here? And it turns out the answer was Arkansas State. I started here in 1969, in the fall of 69. That was a tumultuous time in the nation. 68, 69, 70s. This campus was divided between the hippies on one side, anti-war, and the ROTC pro-war folks on the other side. And a lot of you remember those days. I didn't really have a plan when I started. So sometime during registration, I heard somebody mention that the art department had nude models, so I became an artist. That's why I started. I like to draw, and I thought, what the hell, I wasted 20-some hours in the art department, and then figured out that I had plumbed the depths of my shallow talent enough and thought I'd get into business, try to make a living at some point in my life, so I moved over to the business department. I wasn't a star student, but the foundation that I got in the business department at Arkansas State, paved the road for the rest of my career, and I'll always be grateful for that. Many mentoring professors, and of course I can look out here and see a number of faces I knew in college that are still my dear friends from the early JC days on through Rotary and the community here. I spent an awful lot of time on airplanes over those years in our company. 92 round trips to China, and we traveled all over the world with Jimco. I started out when I was in college in working in a furniture store, and I spent several years in the furniture business and learned some pretty tough lessons about 18% interest. And finally, in 1987, Andy Morris gave me a call and said they were looking for a national sales manager at Jimco Lamp Company out in Bono. I didn't hardly know where Bono was, but I found out that national sales manager at that time was code word for low man on the totem pole. So I went to work selling, and lucky enough, Jimmy Doyle Hunt, who owned the company, kind of took me under his wing. He taught me a lot of things about how to analyze business, how risk management, and a couple years later, I became president and later CEO. We grew the company quite a bit through the next few years. And in 2005, the Hunt family, due to Jim's health, decided to sell. We brought in some private equity partners, bought the company, and the company just continued to grow. So we had divisions in Long Island, New York, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, South Haven, Mississippi, and of course in Arkansas, and grew the company to around $260 million, I think, when I retired in 2014. two of the principal guys that was on my management team are here, Mark Biggers and John Pickens. These are amazing young men. The success for that company was from the management team we built over those years. They've been loyal members of that management team. And right now, even in the larger corporation, I think it's combined now for, with the other divisions, for over $800 million or something. It's a huge company. They're still leaders in that organization, so I'm very appreciative to them. Let's see here, make sure I don't forget anything. Our supply chain, we built a world-class supply chain. Neil alluded to China. Our company fought the move to China and Asia as hard as we could. We were in the last assemblers in America for our product at that time, principal product, portable lighting. But we knew the future was we had to move to Asia. So in 91 and 92, I first went to China. And I missed the gold rush of the 1800s in America, but I'm gonna tell you, that's the same thing went on in China. It was amazing, knocking down mountains and building factories all over that area. So to watch that was quite an experience, and John got in on a lot of that too. What a wonderful experience, made tremendous friends all over Asia and the world, working from that little old company starting out here in Bono, Arkansas. And that all started from my years at Arkansas State. I'm most grateful for that beginning, and I'm most grateful to Arkansas State for allowing me the opportunity to advance through my career. That's it. Thank you. Go Red Wolves.